Hey, Jules Bless Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. So I want to talk about the importance of not comparing ourselves to others, right? Who can relate? I think whenever, social media in general, right? And it's a virtual reality. I would argue a virtual non-reality. Like, there is nothing real about social media. Are you kidding me? Snippets of people's seemingly perfect life, unless they dare to be honest. And I think right now, certainly as a teacher with schools starting, there's a ton of videos coming out about how best to start up the school year, how to prep your boards, your virtual boards in your living room or your office at home, how to prep your boards, how to still dress appropriately, what programs, what websites, on and on for not very much money. And you can generate this. They never mention the time. The district can give me a directive, which is lovely. What they don't understand is the 50 hours that go behind actually implementing it for the teacher. It's insanity, but whatever. Sadly, I do find myself seeing these teachers who seem to have it all together, these teachers who are so creative, these teachers who are so cute. And what they have. And teachers by nature are competitive anyway, because we were all a bunch of straight A students vying for our teachers' attention. Now that we're all straight A teachers vying for our principal's attention. It's pretty tragic. Anyway, how about you on accidentally comparing yourself to what other people appear to have that you do not, real or imagined? And forgive me for the wind tunnel that we're hearing, but our air conditioner's out. Sidebar, joke of all time. The air conditioner went out a couple days ago. My husband called the only place that could come in an emergency. They said that it was an old air conditioner, but they would go ahead and reboot it, if you will, for a mere $400 compared to a real air conditioner, which would be $2,600. And if it goes back out, don't worry, they'll apply the $400 towards the $2,600, but no, you will never get that back. The guy was in the attic for maybe 10 minutes. This is a laugh or cry scenario. He was in the attic for maybe 10 minutes. Less than 36 hours later, inevitably, the air conditioner went out. So now it's like, okay, do you have that $2,200? Because that was the next step. Otherwise, kiss the original $400 goodbye. Also comes to mind for me is cold day in hell that I'm going to go to your business. Not only did you not help me to begin with, so I can't even trust your skills, but now you want $2,200 more dollars? And just my luck. There won't be any warranty or guarantee on that either. Forget it. I will take the loss all day long and twice on Sunday. I am not calling those people back. So we have kind of a tired swamp cooler that when my husband turned it on, it blasted out dirt all over. For which this is a Friday of the first week of school, and I am way too tired to be dealing with that nonsense. I'll get to it, but I was just like, by the way, dirt and brown are my favorite color. Leave it. I'm good. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway. So for accidentally comparing ourselves to others, let's see what's up, people. This is a fantastic article called Life's Enough. Stop comparing yourself to others. You ain't kidding. Another thing is I'm sitting here, my back is in a ton of pain. Why? Because I've been sitting on my beep for way too many hours in front of the darn computer doing virtual teaching. I am being really good about those brain breaks that I mentioned the other day. So I'm actually getting up several times an hour, but there's not much movement there, even there. It helps. I couldn't get through otherwise, but my back is killing me. I'm going to have to find a balance. I really am. I keep wanting to maybe walk the track at recess, which I always enjoy, but today was 110 degrees, and even right now at 11 o'clock at night, it is a brisk 87. So I'm not sure how that's going to go down, but I'm going to find it. I am going to find balance, but right now, oh my aching back. Right. One of the oldest complaints ever. All right, so life's enough. Stop comparing yourselves to others. Here's the quote by Marquis de Condorcet. I don't know. It's for sure my key, Marquis, and it's for sure day, DE. But how about Condorcet? Condorcet? Marquis de Condorcet. Sure, let's go with that. All right, so here's the quote. Enjoy your own life without comparing it with that of another. It's straight up, right? If you took the strengths of others and compared them to your weaknesses, how do you think you'd size up? And do you think this would make you feel good? Like, really, why bother? The funny thing is, this is what most of us do at one time or another, and some of us do pretty often. Guilty as charged. It's a surefire recipe for a drop in self-confidence and for unhappiness. It's also not that useful. Let's say I took a look at someone who creates amazing artwork and really top-notch podcasts on their website, and I look at my art and video skills, i.e. Jules Plus Vegan on a cell phone without a tripod. Yeah. Okay. And realize that I don't come close to measuring up. In fact, I look pretty pitiful. I'm a lousy drawer and don't know anything about, I'm a lousy drawer and don't know anything about video. I'm an excellent drawer, but I haven't invested in video. Let's put it that way. Okay, but wait a minute. It's not a fair comparison. Just because I don't measure up doesn't mean I should get out of the blogging business or that I should get depressed or jealous or resentful. Instead, if I looked at my strengths, writing useful and honest posts, giving authentic Jules Plus Vegan videos, I can see that I have a lot to offer, a lot to be happy about. And that's so important. Being able to look at your own strengths and see your true value is actually one of the keys to success, because without this ability, you will be unmotivated and won't believe in yourself. So get that. I wanted to talk about this issue because of an email from a reader. I came from a tier 2 city of India. I belong to a middle-class family. My job also such that I can't meet both my ends if I get married and start a new family. The problem is that I have got my teammates who come from very affluent families. I can't stop myself comparing my lifestyle with theirs. I know it's not proper to compare myself with them on the basis of what physical possessions they have. I must say that my financial planning is sound enough to take care of my existing family, and I can take care of new family member also, at least for some time, even if I lose my current job. Rock and roll, man. How blessed is that? But whenever I see or hear them spending so much money after possessions, I start comparing again. How can I stop this habit without changing jobs? I get it. I so get it. Okay, here we go. This is an excellent question and a tough one. I think it's natural to compare ourselves to others, but as the reader noticed, it often makes us unhappy, even if we have enough and should be happy with what we have. My quick advice: try to be aware of when you start comparing yourself to others. Let me repeat that. Try to be aware of when you start comparing yourself to others. Once you've developed this awareness, try this trick. Stop yourself. Tell yourself, stop that. And then start thinking about all the things you do have, the things you love, the people you have, the blessings that life has given to you. Make this a regular practice and just start to be happier with your life. Nice. Did I mention my back hurts? I can't figure it out because it's not like the lower back or the spine. Maybe it's muscles. Let's be fair. I have been doing another challenge. It was the butt and gut challenge, which I've been continuing to do, but that's kind of review because I did it a month ago. But this one is called the plank challenge, and oh my God. It's just 10 seconds a day. Well, actually it went from 10 and immediately jumped to like 40 and up. But they add 10 seconds a day. So today was like 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe those muscles. It does seem like it's my side muscles under all my lusciousness, for which I am completely gifted, that I'm feeling. But with my kids, when I did those brain breaks, we did an amazing stretch video by Bullflex, which was incredible, a 5-minute stretch video. So forgive me for that, but I'm in the moment. Let's go back. Okay, so you got to make it a regular practice, and you will start to be happier with your life. All right. I'm hurting so much. I have to pause a second. I'm not kidding you. Okay, rearranged myself. Let's see how this goes. The subheading is the effects of social comparisons. Let's take a look for a moment at what's wrong with comparing ourselves to others. Number one, like I said, it's usually an unfair comparison to start with. As a result, you'll always come off bad if you look at someone's strengths, including what they have like houses and cars, and your weaknesses. Number two, even if you compare strength to strength, there will always be those who are better and those who are worse. That's just a fact of life. I mean, someone is always going to be ahead of you in whatever it is, and someone will always be behind. Where you are on the ladder of accomplishments or purchases has nothing to do with what you want to do. Even if you do well in comparison with others, you may be artificially inflated from this comparison. It's a short-lived boost of ego if you win the comparison, easily knocked down. Yeah, you can be knocked off your high horse at any time. Trust me, I have fallen so many times, and I have been so high on that high horse, I've gotten nosebleeds. All right, what's up? Okay, you end up resenting others for doing well without really knowing the true person. You can see this if you've ever resented someone upon first meeting them, and then later realized you got the wrong idea. You might end up talking about your own accomplishments more than is necessary. No one appreciates that. You might criticize someone in public, trying to knock them down, often unfairly. These aren't good things. Let's look at how to stop this phenomenon. Let me go back. I don't really participate in very much of that. You compare your strengths, there will always be those who are better. I accept there's always going to be those better and worse. Where you are in the ladder of accomplishments has nothing to do with what you want. Even if you do well in comparison. Artificially inflated. In my youth, I don't really bother anymore to do that too much. You end up resenting others for doing better. I never resent them, but it does make me just far more insecure when I seemingly see how much better someone's doing at something. I always have a healthy dose of inferiority complex, seriously. You might end up talking about your own accomplishments. It's really funny when I'm in a conversation with someone who has to be bragging about themselves right away. I'm like, how much more do you need to affirm the insecurity of what you don't even believe, hoping that I'll buy in? Yeah, that's a no. You can criticize someone in public and try and knock them down unfairly. I don't know if that's true in general to the person, but I've certainly conversed about someone to someone else, and in the end I've had to say, what was your point in bringing that up? Like, why did you have to bring that person down? I started to do that because I had an opinion about someone, and that other person, because I was going slowly enough in the great reveal of what a jerk I was being, that other person got a chance to express their incredible respect and love and admiration for that same person that I was putting down. That was a blessing I was able to retract before they even knew that I was about to slam that individual. The neat thing about it, though, was that it made me look at it in a different way. And then when I approached that person again, I actually had the grace to see the best in them. And that was all God. That was seriously all God. Not only did I not deface myself to the person who admired them, but I was able to have the grace to see the true gift of them in the next setting. And I love that. Okay, the other subheading, breaking the habit of comparing yourself with others. So how do you break this cycle of comparing yourself with others? Here are some tips that I have found useful. Number one, awareness. Most often we do these social comparisons without realizing we're doing it. It's true, it's never a sin to think. The sin is in dwelling. So, thoughts are going to come at you all the time for so many reasons. And that in itself, as ugly as it may be, and of course God is privy to all of it, is not a sin. The sin is escalating the thought or dwelling on the thought for too long. So first is the awareness. Most often we do these social comparisons without realizing we're doing it. It's a natural act, I suppose, and as a result it's something that is done without consciousness. So the solution is to become conscious. Bring these thoughts to the forefront of your consciousness by being on the lookout for them. If you focus on these thoughts a few days, it gets much easier with practice, and soon it will be hard not to notice. Because even when those thoughts come unexpectedly, at the end of the day, we're responsible for what we do with those thoughts. Seriously. Okay, number 2, just stop yourself. Once you realize you're doing these comparisons, give yourself a pause, like I did with that situation. Don't berate yourself or feel bad. Just acknowledge the thought and gently change focus. Number 3, count your blessings. A better focus is on what you do have, on what you are already blessed with. Count what you have, not what you don't. Think about how lucky you are to have what you have, to have the people in your life who care about you, to be alive at all. This goes back to God doesn't make junk, right? Like, we can rejoice in who we are just by the fact that God created us, that there will never be another in the entire universe. Okay, focus on your strengths. Instead of looking at your weaknesses, ask yourself what your strengths are. Celebrate them. Be proud of them. Don't brag, but feel good about them and work on using them to your best advantage. Next one, be okay with imperfection. Perfectly imperfect. Be okay with imperfection. No one is perfect. Intellectually, we all know that. But emotionally, we seem to feel bad when we don't reach perfection. You aren't perfect and you never will be. In your face, right? You aren't perfect and you never will be. That is not nice, though true. I certainly am not, and I've learned to be okay with that. Sure, keep trying to improve, but don't think you'll ever be the perfect person. If you look at it in a different way, that imperfection is what makes you who you are. You already are the perfect you, right? That single creation. You've mastered that. So that's an interesting one. The next one, don't knock others down. So true, and God puts that on my heart all the time. It's like, Juliana, what is your point? What is your point? How is that serving anyone? Sorry, Father. Okay, don't knock others down. Sometimes we try to criticize others just to make ourselves look or feel better. Taking someone else down for your benefit is destructive. It forms an enemy when you could be forming a friend. In the end, that hurts you as well. Instead, try to support others in their success. That will lead to more success on your part. All right, focus on the journey. Don't focus on how you rank in comparison to others. Life is not a competition. It's a journey. We are all on a journey to find something, to become something, to learn, to create. That journey has nothing to do with how well other people are doing or what they have. It has everything to do with what we want to do and where we want to go. That's all you need to worry about. That and the fact that my back is killing me. One moment, please. Okay, I'm going to get through this. I got to decide. I don't take any medication of any kind, so I'm trying to remember, is it heat first or ice? It seems like heat would relax the muscle. But whatever it is, ouch. Okay, let's keep going. Getting so close to the end is a good one. Learn to love enough. Doesn't it always come back to love? Everything comes back to love. Okay, learn to love enough. If you always want if you always want what others have, you will never have enough. This is what learn to love enough. You know what? I don't want what other people have. Like, I don't sit there wishing. A certain person I know, is always shopping for the next best thing, always wanting, always on shopping sites, which of course leaves a person wanting. For me, I don't even notice anything, and I have no desire for anything, which is all God. Okay, if you always want what others have, you will never have enough. You will always want more. That's an endless cycle, and it will never lead to happiness. No matter how many clothes you buy, no matter how many houses you own, 7 in the case of one famous candidate. No matter how many fancy cars you acquire, you'll never have enough. Instead, learn to realize that what you have is already enough. If you have shelter over your head, food on the table, clothes on your back, and people who love you, you are blessed and you have enough. Anything you have over and above that, and let's admit, that's all of us reading this blog, we have more than that, is enough. Be good with that and you will find contentment. Another quote, to love is to stop comparing, period, by Bernard Grasset. Yeah, so true. You know, if you've ever been in third world countries, if you've ever seen the real poverty in the world and experienced that, I mean, I think I told you guys I was like in Papua New Guinea, and I literally went into a store and there was probably 12 items on the shelf, and they were all so proud that they had 12 items to even offer. And I thought of the 70,000 items on a common grocery store. I remember even in 1984, they had a major earthquake in Mexico. Oh, forgive me. We had a major earthquake. And on the exact same day, they had an earthquake in China. We immediately had bulldozers and, major crane equipment, to pick up the buildings and get people out. And in China, they were using sticks and, bracing them on rocks to try and lift what were essentially clay buildings that had collapsed. It was such a reality check for me. I was shocked. I was so saddened. I couldn't believe it. And, where are we today? My gosh, we have more than enough. Now people are not only having storage units that they pay for every single month, but they're in therapy to learn to declutter. What? I don't know. It's such an interesting burden, right? It's a problem many in the world would long to have. Okay? Anyway, though, let me just go over the quick ones really again. If you are comparing yourself to others, 1, have awareness of when you do it. 2, learn to stop yourself. 3, count the blessings of what you have. 4, focus on your personal strengths. 5, be okay with being imperfect. Be okay with imperfection. 6, don't knock others down to boost yourself up. 7, focus on your journey. And 8, learn to love enough on what you already have, right? All right, my friends, like if you like, join us if you haven't, subscribe. I'd love to know in the comments below what interested you about this. Do you accidentally spend time feeling that you are either exceptional or inferior by comparing yourself to others? I'm certainly guilty of both, and my back will be fine. It's just muscle pain, and I earned it. And I'm happy I earned it. I've been working out, people, for the great reveal. Okay, until we talk again, best of all, know that you're blessed.